Welcome to Radiant Rahaf, the podcast for coaches and creators who want to build luxury brands without burning out. I'm Rahaf, business energetics coach, PhD student, and sponsored skateboarder. I went from serving tables and hustling every client to building six-figure systems and offers that sell in my sleep. Here we talk all things raw when it comes to business strategy, nervous system regulation, and stepping into your goddess frequency with tangible, actionable steps to help you scale to consistent 10K plus months. If you're here, you know freedom is your birthright. Let's get into it. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Radiant Rahaf podcast. I have a very special one for you today because as you saw in the title, we are saying goodbye to Los Angeles. And I'm so excited for this new chapter. And if you don't already know this background about me, I've lived in LA 11 years now. My partner has lived here, Mike, for 15 years, I think. And we love it. We love it, love it, love it, love it. But this past year and a half, we have been magnetically been called to San Diego County, like Encinitas, Carlsbad area. And there's been some magic happening in the universe, like since then. And last week, I had my in-person VIP day with my coach, and we do it once a year, and we do it in San Diego. So I was in San Diego County, like Encinitas, last weekend. Yeah, it was last weekend. And the magic came back, and we were at an inn, this beautiful inn in Rancho Santa Fe. And there was a wedding happening while we were there doing our work. And she looks at me and she says, "Do you and Mike ever talk about living together?" And I said, "Yeah, it's not really something that's a priority. It's not something that we feel like we need to force ourselves to do because we really don't align with the mindset of timelines and this is when you need to do this and this is when you settle down." We do not abide by that philosophy. We're building a business, we're partners in life, and we trust the timeline of that. So I basically said that. And not even a few days later, I shared that with Mike, and he said, "It's really funny you say that because my roommates are moving out and I either have to fill 2 rooms or we can talk about moving down to San Diego County." He has a skateboarding training facility that's down there that he would love to be next to. I'm personally super drawn to being down there because I know with all of my heart that this next level of my business, this next level of my life needs to be in more feminine energy. And the moment that I'm like going to cry because I love San Diego County so much. And the magic that's just pulling me there is indescribable. And LA was great for building my business. It was amazing. But it's so masculine. It's so hustle, hustle, hustle. People don't say hi to you when you walk by them. And that's really important to me. It's really important to me that when I walk by someone, they say good morning. And you get that all the time in Encinitas. You get that all the time in Carlsbad. You get that so frequently when you're just going to the local market. The air is cleaner. Ever since I got back from Switzerland last June, I've been in this weird in-between feeling being in LA because all I could see was how dirty the air was after being in Switzerland. And I'm just so excited to integrate everything I've built in my business. We just crossed a milestone yesterday. We're officially a multi-six-figure business. And we're at this place with Revenue Room officially launching at the end of the year / beginning of the year and having a January 1st move-in date and really starting 2026 with the integration of feminine energy and receiving without all the hustle that was necessary to get us to where we are. it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. And we went, and immediately, because I take action like that, as soon as he said that, we drove down and we spent 2 days looking at every apartment app that exists. Zillow, Trulia, Hotpads, Apartments.com, everywhere, Redfin. And we toured 5 places. Of the 5 that we toured, we fell in love with one. It was like the perfect one. And they loved us too. So the past couple days, we've been talking to them. We submitted an application last night, and we celebrated and also brought in a new student into revenue room yesterday. So we went and celebrated multiple things. We had a ribeye, we had hash browns. We went to the restaurant that I used to serve at because I love it there, and it's always trippy being on the other side of the table. Whew. This is the feeling of a new chapter. And if you're listening to this and you know that the environment you're in is reaching an expiration date, follow that whisper. Because that's all I did. That's all I did is follow that whisper. And that whisper has been whispering for over a year. And I've been trusting of the timeline of it, knowing that there's something more, knowing that I'm being literally, it feels like a magnet drawing me down south. And also knowing, LA's 1.5 to 2 hours away from where we want to move. So it's not even like across the country. Follow that whisper wherever it is. Maybe it is across the country for you. But if you're feeling something needs to shift, lean into it, because I have been playing connect the dots with my intuition and trusting every moment, every pivot, and leaning into it. And ask yourself, like, what does your business need? What environment does your business need to be the most supportive for you in this next chapter? Where do you need to be to call in that additional magic? Those are the questions I asked. And for me, not only is it a new chapter of moving to a new city and new skate parks and new apartment, and my animals would get used to it, it's also moving in with Mike. This is such a big step in our relationship. And gosh, we are beyond ready for it, because we didn't sit here and rush it or think that we had to do it just because we had to do it. We're ready. And it's a beautiful apartment. It's a condo, 2 bedrooms, huge kitchen and living room and balcony. It's almost 1,500 square feet, wooden floors. And it's nice to have all that extra space, because that's something that we both need. It's like that independence within the apartment. So start with your values and look at what aligns with it in 2026. And you can start thinking about that. Start thinking about that. We're 2 days into December. We want this next year to be everything that you've been wanting to call in, and really leaning into taking action without overthinking. There's 2 extremes here, me and Mike. When I set my mind on something, I take action. I don't even think, like milliseconds. It's how I move so fast. It's how I collapse timelines. It's how massive change happens in a week, because my intuition drops something in. I feel it. I connect with it, and I run. And I run regulated, and I run with trust. Mike, on the other hand, he's calculated. I mean, if you don't know this about him, he's a skateboarder. He is on Team USA. He is very high level in his athletic performance. So the way that he thinks is very logical, very pragmatic, very matter of fact. We even each other out like crazy. So with this new chapter, this is where I went. And he also thought about, okay, let's think about the matter of fact nature about all of this. And then we found our sweet spot. So for you, which side do you lean towards? How can you find that sweet spot in knowing where do I tend to take a little bit longer to make certain decisions? Where do I full send it without even thinking and trust myself? Ask yourself, these are great journaling questions. Where do you know that you could move a little faster? And that doesn't mean rush, but that means where do you know? Where's that honest conversation? And okay, I might be dragging my feet here because I want to stay in what's safe. This feels scary. This feels fearful. For example, yesterday, I mentioned that I had a new client, a new student that just joined Revenue Room. And oh my God, she's a soul client. She's a soul client. And it's because I qualify really hard of who comes in. I'm very selective of the energy inside. I don't say yes to everyone. Like, this is exclusive because this is a frequency of energy. And this needs to feel good for me. It needs to feel good for the other coaches that are inside, the heart-led coaches that want to learn a more feminine approach to sales, but also have the structure that they need to hit their milestones, to track their data, to learn the DM setting to discovery call process. And this student that came in yesterday, she has invested in so many programs, 27K a year for one, 27K a year for another one. This is my dream person because you understand the value of investing. I love you. This is me. So I saw myself in her. And when we got to the end, I love how self-aware the coaches who want to learn sales that get on these calls with me are at the end of the call, because she was like, I already know that I'm getting a fear objection right now, and I want to work through it with you. I was like, I love you. I love you. I wish everybody could be like you to have that level of self-awareness. So we dove into it. And when someone has invested in so many programs and they have gotten results, but they haven't gotten what they needed in terms of tangible money results, it's hard. It's hard. It's like, how is this going to be different? Why is this going to be different? And for her, it was the structure. She didn't have the structure in the other programs. In fact, they were too feminine. Believe it or not, it's possible to have a too feminine program, because what happens when you have too much feminine energy? Well, it's free floating, which is great. It has value. That's similar to the container that I have with my life coach. That's the purpose. That's the intent. But I also am in a sales program that has more structure. I'm also in a marketing program that has more structure. I was in a copywriting program that has more structure. So it's important to have that balance and to know that we work with different specialists to invest the skills that we need to learn in our business. And working through the conversation with her and really highlighting, okay, like, what was missing? Here's what you're getting that was missing. Here's the structure. She didn't have accountability. I'm giving you WhatsApp support. You're getting one-on-one calls in the beta program. So it's really important. This aligns with what I was saying earlier, to start with your values, start with what you need, whether it's moving to a different city or signing up for a program that your business needs that you need to invest in. Start with what you need, start with what was missing in the past, and then take action, move forward, make big moves, because honestly, it's the only way. The longer we take to think and calculate way too much, we talk ourselves out of it. And this also aligns with what intuitive decision making is. You know, in the first year of my business, people thought I was literally crazy. They thought, I'm like, yeah, I'm delusional, because I listen to my intuition and I take action from that place. And the definition of delusion is things that are outside of the external, right? It's like intuition is not something you can touch. It's not something that is logical. So when I tell people, yeah, I built my business with intuitive decision making, all my business decisions, everything is just with my intuition. I sit, and intuition is also It's a knowing. It's a knowing that washes over your body. You feel it so hard. I'm going to tell you a quick little story about what intuition is. When I was a server, and I was also a professor and business owner, and I was working one night, and I can't even explain this moment. I was walking up to greet a table. I didn't even see them, didn't even see who they were. I was just told, like, hey, you got a table, go greet them. I walked over, and I'm just thinking in my head, something outside of this physical world washed over me. Just like, I can't even explain it, just flooded through me. And immediately was this knowing, like snapped in. I'm about to greet one of my students. Like I just knew. I'm like, I think it's a girl. I'm about to greet one of my students. I went to the table. I greeted them. There were 4 girls sitting there. There was no student. It's like, that's so weird, because literally my intuition was like so strong. I greeted them. I poured their water. I turned around and I ran straight into one of my students. Wild. Wild. That's how powerful it is. I'm so emotional in this episode, guys. That's how powerful it is to lean into something bigger than you. And the thing about masculine energy being too heavy, intuition does not have a chance to come in. And we deserve to build our business with our intuition, because we are heart-led coaches that need to be in this regulated nervous system to be with our clients, to hold space for them, to have them trust and attune to our nervous system. They deserve that. You deserve that. The people in your life deserve that. And if our environment is constant fire frequency of feeling like you need to be on your laptop all the time, feeling like you need to be working all the time because it makes sense, especially if there's real scarcity involved, especially when you're going through the ups and downs of building a business, which is so normal. I experienced that for several months of like the up and down, 25K month, 6K month. And then I put data and trackers in and made it externally predictable and other systems in place. But on the way to that happening, yeah, it is a lot of masculine energy. And it's not that we want to get rid of all the masculine energy, but we need to trust that work happens faster, results happen faster when you slow down. Because it was really easy for me to talk myself into the fact that I needed to be on my laptop all day to make money, to get clients. That I rationalized skipping yoga. I rationalized skipping the skateboarding sesh. And I would just sit on my laptop, window in front of me where I could just see outside. And you know that feeling where it just gets dark in the room that you're in because you were working so hard with the light of the computer screen and you didn't even realize that the sun set. I hate that feeling. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that feeling. I like it when I'm in a zone and I'm in a creative zone. But as someone who values nature and being outside and spending it with the people I love and my animals and going on walks and being at the beach, it's weird because I love being in creative flows with the business, just like you know, it's nice to have that tunnel vision and to build. But when it's coming from a place of scarcity, that's the difference. Feeling like you need to be doing all this. And I ask the universe so much. I say, show me evidence for this new story that when I slow down, when I go to yoga, when I skate, I actually make more money. And ever since I said that, I have been getting discovery calls, getting booked in my calendar in the middle of my skate sesh. Me and Mike just skating. People coming into the DMs happened, it's been happening for like a year. I first set that intention. I said, please show me evidence for this new story. And ever since then, such a magical affirmation. So to bring this all together, the reason why I want to leave LA is to be more in my feminine energy, because that's what Revenue Room needs. The structure's there. The frameworks are there. The spreadsheets, the trackers, everything is there. Everything that is masculine, the call structure, everything. But me, my energy needs to be regulated. It needs to be at peace. It needs to be in the frequency of deeper alignment. It needs to be in a neighborhood of high frequency people. And I'm grateful for my neighborhood. I live in West LA right now, but it's close. It's so close. Encinitas, Carlsbad, San Diego County. Oh, it's more than close. Feels like this is exactly where I need to be for this chapter. So, you are the first person I've told about this move publicly. I've only told my mom and my brother. I haven't even told my coach yet. I see her today, so I'm really excited to talk to her. And I hope you took something away from this, in the sense that I want you to trust that when you move slow, and you can take fast action and move slow, by the way. It took me a while to find that balance. The key is the overthinking to stay safe. It's like, nope, intuition pours in, go. And then moving with regulated poise and certainty. And Revenue Room is filling up. You hear me talk about this at the end of the episode. I'm going to give you a little blurb. I pushed the start date to be more towards the end of the month because there's so much magic of the people coming in, and I want to give more time with people who are watching the masterclass. I want more time to set it up. So it gives you time to still join the beta round, where you get one-on-one support with me that no one will ever get in the future. WhatsApp support, so I'm literally in your back pocket, and so is Mike. And then you also get 5 group calls a week. Super structured, but also room for creativity, room for feminine flow. You will never, ever find a sales program like this again. And you've probably never found one before. And I can confidently say that from all the people that have gotten on my calls and saying that they have never seen anything like this. They've never gotten anything like this from all the research I've done of the active programs out there. Every coaching business needs sales. Otherwise, it's a hobby. So learning how to sell with feminine strategy, learning how to sell in a way that feels aligned with who your ideal client is, learning the skills of reframing objections, learning the structure and framework of how to take an ice cold person. The girl that signed up yesterday, we didn't even know who we were. Like, we were strangers 7 days ago. She came in. I sent her a new follow outreach message, which we give you in Revenue Room, our messages, step by step, high converting. We tested all the KPIs. I sent her a new follow outreach message. We got in a conversation. She said, yeah, I already have 3 coaches, this and that. So I sent her to my masterclass. Detached. Great. You have 3 coaches. So happy for you. Here's this. She mentioned that she was still missing something. So I said, watch this. See if you get what you need. We went back. Actually, no, she messaged in. She's like, oh my God. It was like a paragraph. I loved your masterclass so much. I'll drop it in the show notes for you, by the way. If you haven't seen my free masterclass I just launched, oh my God, like the amount of value you will walk away with. She watched it, sent this huge message. We talked to her, took her straight to a discovery call, got on the discovery call yesterday, new client within 7 days of never even knowing this person. And this is exactly what we teach you how to do. So I'm going to drop the free masterclass. I'm going to drop the revenue room if you just want to go straight and apply. Super limited spots. If you feel like you align with my mission, my values, and you want to learn sales, just apply. Like, it doesn't hurt. Once again, take action, ask your intuition, move forward, and just let the universe do her thing. Thank you for being here. It was so lovely talking to you about my next chapter. I hope you have an idea of where Really Rahaf is going now and how 2026 is going to be. I love being on this journey with you. I love, 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 love. Once again, tears. I'm also in luteal, so thank you for being here and spending time with me, and send me a DM if you like this episode. I see so many of you guys listening and watching, literally, because I can see how many people are listening and watching, and I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear how much you're loving this episode. So tag me on Instagram, send me a DM. I want to talk to you. I want to hear about you. I want to hear about your story. Mwah. I love you. I'll see you next Tuesday. If this episode resonated with you in any way, if something clicked, expanded, or shifted for you, I'd love for you to share it and tag me on Instagram at Radiant Rahaf so I can celebrate your breakthroughs with you. And if you haven't already, subscribe and leave a 5-star review so more high-level coaches like you can find this space. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.